Oh, yeah! How are we doing, folks? Welcome to another episode of How You Been with Brett DeMott. I, of course, am your fearless leader, Brett DeMott. Folks, couldn't be more excited for the show today. No kidding. I got a huge get. You know, last week I said I got my first international guest. And then I heard John comes on the stream and tells you guys that I ain't gonna have my first international guest. Well, that kid don't know shit. Because, folks, I got my first international guest on the show today. And that is my good friend who's a foreign exchange student in 6th grade with me, who I was real good friends with, and I ain't really seen him in a long time, but we kept in touch. And I'm telling you this now, this guy's a great, great guy. His name is Bunbuster Berry Ball. That's right, folks. Triple B's is going to be on the show, and I couldn't be more excited. Should be a very engaging and exciting conversation, and I think you're all going to love it. Now, folks, I'd like to say that this was a week of getting back to normal. You know, they're starting to sort of loosen up the restrictions on what you can and can't do out in the world. And so me, BB, and the kids, we said, you know what, we're gonna keep it chill, but we're gonna try to do something normal. So we threw our little masks on, and we went to our favorite pizza shop. Had a little outdoor seating. It was very nice. This is the first outing as a family we had in months. This is the first outing as a family we had for a lot of reasons. Not just because of the pandemic, but because, you know, the issues we've been having as a unit, a family unit. But we decided to go to our favorite pizza shop. I always like to hit the pizza shop a little bit early, okay? People always, people go for the dinner rush. People go for the lunch. I like to hit it right between lunch and dinner. So we didn't do any lunch that day. We just did a little bit of a late breakfast. And then we hit the pizza shop about 3:30, the perfect time. We were like, ain't going to be nobody there. It's going to be perfect. Little did I know, this pizza shop, we ain't never been there really in the daytime before. And this pizza shop, direct sun. I mean, they got no shade. They got nothing for us. And I'm sitting there with my sunglasses on, and I still can't even see my kids. We're trying to have conversation, and I'm just getting sun directly in my freaking eyes. And so I'm losing this. I got my sunglasses on the whole time that we're eating. And as we took our time. There weren't many people there, so we felt pretty safe. So we just kept it pretty chill. We hung out. We chatted. Had a little pepperoni pie. Had a little house salad with a little ranch dressing. You know what I'm talking about. My favorite meal, as everybody here knows. I've talked about it a lot. And so the sun starts going down. Because at this point, we've been there for 4.5, 5 hours. It's rolling around 8 o'clock. People are starting to come in. I'm starting to get anxious. So I take my sunglasses off. We're still chilling, hanging out. And I finished the meal. We finished the meal. It's delicious. I paid a bill. Give a nice 15% tip. And hey, before you come at me that 15% ain't enough, this is expensive pizza, okay? So 15% is a good tip, okay? And as we all know, I ain't made out of money. And we were very nice to the wait staff. So the tip was a 15% tip, but also compliments and sort of small talk, a couple of little jokes. Came up to clear out the tray after we finished the pizza. The waiter goes, you guys done with this? And I said, yeah, and it doesn't look like we liked it too much, does it? Classic joke. A classic joke. She laughed. But then anyway, we paid a bill and we're getting out of there. And we get home and, we're kicking our feet up. We all took showers in case there was germs on us. And, I'm sitting there on the couch watching this new dog grooming show on HBO Max. And I realize I left my freaking Oakleys on the table at the pizza shop. And so I'm losing it, because if there's one thing that I hate, it's not having sunglasses when I need them. Another thing that I hate, it's leaving something behind when you don't mean to. I've done it with the kids before. As we know, the Halloween party, I left my youngest at the Halloween party by accident. And so I lost my mind. So I called up the pizza shop and I said, "Hey, hello, it's Brett. I was just there earlier. Looks like I left my sunglasses on the table. I'm sure somebody grabbed them and put them into lost and found. Can you hold them till tomorrow?" The guy on the other side of the phone says to me, "Hey, Brett, what's going on? No, we ain't got your sunglasses. We didn't see nothing on the table." And so out of the gate, I know what's up. This guy wants my Oakleys. They're nice. They're that sort of matte blue with this sort of blue gradient lenses. So for sure, this guy has stolen them. And I say, "Listen, buddy, I hear you. They're good. They're really good, okay? You could just put them into lost and found, and I'll show up and I won't even ask no questions. I'll just take them out of lost and found. Everything will be fine." He says, "No, Brett, I'm serious. We ain't seen them." And I say, "Well, what do you mean you ain't seen them? Okay, you got to look at the security footage or something like that, okay?" And he says to me, "Brett, we ain't going to look at the security footage just to see if your sunglasses are still on the table or not, or if you left them on the table or not." And I say, "I've been patronizing this fucking store for a decade or more, and you can't just pop in the VHS tape to look and see if my sunglasses have been left on the table or if somebody stole it?" And he says, "No, we can't do that, okay? The only people who have access to that are the manager, and the manager has been out of the country since the beginning of the pandemic." And I'm saying, what happens if somebody stole from the store and you needed to go look back over the security camera footage? You're just telling me you don't have access to the security camera footage because the manager's been out of the country since the beginning of the pandemic? That don't seem right to me. So I asked this kid, I said, "Kid, give me the manager's cell phone number." He says, "I can't do that." And I say, I don't care that you say you can't do that. As man to man, send me the manager's phone number." And he says, "I ain't going to do that." And I say to him, "If you don't do that, I'm going to report you to the health department for all the health code violations that you guys been doing." And he said, "We ain't got any of those." And I say to him, "They don't know that. They don't know you guys don't have that. Don't have any health violations." And I mean, I'm a trusted source of information around town. Everybody knows that. There's one person they're going to trust, it's me. So finally, he gives me the manager's cell phone number. And so I call the manager. Turns out this guy has been in South America, living in the middle of the wilderness for the last 6 months. And I'm like, "Hey, first of all, how'd you get money to do that? It costs a lot of money to travel outside the country." He didn't answer. He didn't tell me. Makes me think that maybe this guy's not a not-so-savory character. And so I tell him, I said, "Listen," told him the whole story. We went in there and we had dinner, took my sunglasses off. First of all, you guys got to put an awning in there or something because it's way too bright outside during the daytime. Especially with so many people eating outside now, you got to put an awning in there. He says, "I ain't got time to handle any of this right now, okay? Stop talking to me about this." And I say, "Listen, I need you to call the kid who's working at your store right now, and I need you to tell him to give me the security camera footage." And he's like, "What do I need to do that for?" And I said, "Because I left my sunglasses there." And he says to me, "Brett, there are so many other things in this world that are more important than you finding your sunglasses." And right then and there, I knew that these guys weren't going to help me. And so I, against my better judgment, I hung up on this asshole, and I go down to the pizza shop. Got my mask on. Walk in there, and I ask this kid at the front desk. I'm like, "Hey, are you the kid who was I talking to on the phone?" And he says, "Yeah, I am, Brett. It's me, Matt." And I'm like, "Okay, Matt. Now we're on a first-name basis. I need to find my freaking sunglasses." And Matt walks me all around this whole restaurant. They ain't on the table where I left them. They ain't in the lost and found bin in the back. Nobody's reported seeing my sunglasses. How convenient. And so I'm walking out of there, Still no sunglasses. I get back in the car, and I'm pissed, okay? I'm pissed. And, of course, I stole a couple of the mints out of the desk. Little after-dinner mints. And I popped one in my mouth, and I opened the center console and put the mints in there. And what do I see in there? My Blue Oakleys. Unbeknownst to me, BB grabbed them, and she put them in the center console for me when we got back into the car. And that's a long story, folks. That's a long story to get to this point. Whether you know it or not, the people around you are looking out for you. Even the ones that you don't necessarily look out for yourself all the time, they are looking out for you unbeknownst. So I'd like to take this opportunity publicly, live on this show, to say, BB, thank you for what you did. But also, I want to say, hey, Matt, at the pizza shop, I didn't like your tone. And yes, at the end of the day, the issue was my fault completely. But it would have been nice to get a little friendliness, a little smile, a little help, a little more helpful attitude. That's all I'm saying. Well, folks, that story ate up a little bit more time than I wanted to. I was going to try to play Outside again on the acoustic guitar, but we can wait on that for next week. We'll for sure do that. But I want to, real quick, as we always do, I want to jump into the old mailbag, see what we got going on. This, let's see, this question comes from, Logan. Logan says, on episode 1427 with Original Fig, Jeremy wrote in with a bean question. Jeremy made a mistake as his question was meant to be for the How You Bean show. Thank you for your leadership. Sincerely, a loyal member of the Motley Crew. Logan, thank you so much for the clarification. I guess you're friends with Jeremy. Thank you for that clarification. I do remember this question confusing me and confounding me in the moment. Maybe I didn't deal with it very well. So I'd like to thank Logan for the clarification. Also, who's the guy doing this How You Bean show? And give me a link to the show. Send me an email with a link to the show, because this is a cease and desist situation. How you been? How you been? How you been? Are you serious? He knows about my show, whoever this guy is. Assuming it's a man. I'm assuming it's a man. To have that much of an attitude and go that crazy and do something so close, to take that much credit for an idea. I'm assuming it's a man. That's very masculine energy is what I'll say. Send them to me. Send them to me, because we're going to have it out. And yes, I am in the middle of a lawsuit with Mark Maron. But that don't mean I don't have enough energy to do another lawsuit with this creep. So send them my way if you want to. And if anybody else has any more info on this How You Been show, you can send me an email with the info to howyoubenshow@gmail.com. And I would very much appreciate it. Because that's unbelievable. How You Been show. How you been? Kiss my ass, whoever you are. How you been? Unbelievable. All right, folks. It's about that time, folks. Like I said, very excited for my guest today. Bunbuster Berry Ball. An old friend from middle school who's a foreign exchange student. Honestly, very, very excited to have a chat with him. And so what we're going to do, folks, is I'm going to jump off here to a quick break as we do. I'm going to get the old Bunbuster on the line, and then we'll be back with a nice little chat. So, folks, hang tight through the break if you could, please. I very much would appreciate it. And we will be right back with Bunbuster Berry Ball. Here we go. Oh yeah, folks. That's right. DeMott's back in the building. Oh, folks, I told you before the break, and it was a pretty quick break today. Real quick break. I told you before the break, I'm very excited for my guest today. I ain't seen this guy in the flesh in quite a long time. But I'll tell you this. I am so incredibly excited to introduce you all to my good friend, Bunbuster Berry Ball. Here he is. What's up, my man?
Am I coming through clearly?
You are coming through loud and clear, my man.
Yes. Oh my gosh, it's been so long since I've seen you.
It hit. I mean, last time we chatted, last time we talked was a couple years ago, but last time I saw you, we were in 6th grade. How many years ago is that? I'm 55. That's like we're both in our 50s.
We're 55, and then you take back the 10, and that's 45, and you take back a 10 again. It'll be 35.
35 years ago.
We plunge back, and then it's 25, and it'll be about 35 years.
Unbelievable. It's absolutely unbelievable how long it's been since I saw you in the flesh. And I'll tell you this, you look great.
You look fine. You look like you could be looking better, if I'm being quite honest.
Oh, come on now. What are you talking about? I feel like I've really grown into my look. A lot of people say that I've grown into my look. I looked like this when I was in 6th grade. And
yes,
now
you had a small, pervy mustache and quite the shag on your head. I think you've actually grown away from it. Perhaps it's time for a bit of a nip and a bit of a tuck.
I'm sorry, what? A bit of a chalk?
A bit of a nip and a bit of a tuck.
A nip and a tuck. So we're talking about you want me to get surgery? You think I'm bad enough looking that I need surgery?
I think you could stand for some rhinoplasty. Just a suggestion. You're beautiful the way you are. Indeed, you are. Not trying to cause you to not be confident.
Well, I'll tell you this. Out of the gate, you took a big swing. Then I'll tell you this, knocked a few notches off the old confidence belt, is what I'll say.
Oh, I'm sorry to do it. I mean, I don't look as good as I did when I was a young chap either. You could totally light me up.
No, see, that's not my bag, okay? I think you look great. I mean, the hair is looking, beautiful. It's going in every
Prim and
direction.
Proper. No mistakes here. Everything in its place. Every place has its thing.
Every place does have its thing. Honestly, I'm just so impressed. I remember your voice from when we were kids, and now hearing it again, I am reminded of it. And I'll tell you this: your accent is so incredibly delicate and specific. I don't even. Is this a regional thing, or is this?
Of course, I was born and raised in Buckinghamshire.
Buckinghamshire, huh?
Yes, in the Midwestlands. Buckinghamshire, next to Berkshire and Hampshire, near Devon, Hertfordshire, Cheshire, south of Kent. If you don't know by the shires, you can just go a bit south of Kent.
I'll tell you this. I don't know much about the UK geography, okay? I barely know the US geography, so you saying where you're from, it means almost less than nothing to me. And no offense or nothing. No, I don't mean no offense.
I mean, you believe that it is a place, is it not? It may sound unbelievable or be foreign enough for you, but certainly when the Native Americans were seeing boats breach their beaches, they didn't go, I don't believe that's a boat because I've never seen one before.
Well, here's what I'll say. I'll say the concept of a boat was not unique. So they had seen a boat before. They probably, I'll say this, they probably
Not
did say.
one that big, the size gargantuan.
I was going to say, they probably were like, holy crap, that boat's 400 times bigger than the boats that I've seen before.
It's quite big, yes. A multiplication of size.
Now, listen, Triple B, of course, that's what we called you back in 6th grade. Are you still cool with that?
Yes, I mean, everybody did call me Bunbuster Berry Ball, but that indeed is not my full name.
That's not your full name?
No, I mean, everybody just started to shorten it. Of course, my first name is Berry Buster, which would make my name Berry Buster, Bunbuster Berry Ball. But then that also leaves out my middle name.
So then what are the names? Okay, so there's 3 names here. Bunbuster Berry Ball, which
yes,
feels
that
like
is
first middle, last.
That's my last name.
That's just your last name.
Yes, don't you Americans, they love calling people by, especially people who are a bit bigger, they look like they could be playing American football. They love calling them by the last name.
Okay.
So I thought of got the moniker Bunbuster Berry Ball when that indeed is just part of my name.
That's
my
just
name in part.
Okay,
Yes.
so it's Bunbuster Berry Ball.
My first name is Berry Buster.
Berry
Which
Buster.
would make my first name and my last name Berry Buster, Bunbuster Berry Ball. But that does not include my middle name, which is, of course, Ballbuster Bun. And I think if I'm doing that math correctly, that would make my name Berry Buster Ball, Buster Bun, Bunbuster Berry Ball.
Your parents, in my brain, your parents hate you because that name feels like an impossible name to live with as a child. And obviously, you've sort of shortened it and made it a little bit more manageable. But to me,
Yes.
your parents sitting in the hospital bed with a fresh little baby popped out and sitting there saying, I want to call this baby Ballbuster, Bunbuster, Berry Ball, Berry Ball. Like, say it one more time. I need to write this down, honestly. We never got into
My
this.
full
when we were
name
kids.
is,
Yes.
and I'm going to try and remember correctly, Berry Buster is my first name.
Berry
My
Buster.
middle name is Ballbuster Bun. And my last name that you know me by is Bunbuster Berry Ball, which makes my name Berry Buster, Ballbuster, Bunbuster Berry Ball.
Okay. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
From-
That's 8
yeah.
B's. That's 8
Yeah.
different B names. Berry Buster, Ball Buster, Bun Buster, Berry Ball.
Yeah, it's a family name.
Are you kidding me?
It's a family name.
What is it? Okay, is this what happened? Your dad's name is like Berry Ball, and your mom's name is like Bun Buster, and then they just
This is not a Huell Hauser situation, Brett. Not at all. Nothing like being named Huell because your father was named Hank and your mother was named Jewel. It's not like that. Simply that my father's name was Frank Bunbuster Berry Ball. And they chose my first name to be Berry Ball. And my mother chose my middle name to be Ballbuster Bun. Therefore, making my name Berry Buster Ball, Buster Bun, Bunbuster Berry Ball. I don't understand the confusion. I had other things that I'd like to talk about.
Well, okay. Well, let's move past it then. We'll move past the name, okay? Because there
It's
is
quite. Can you please just admit that it's quite simple?
I can't admit that. I truly can't. Because honestly, without looking at it, that I just wrote it down, I will not ever be able to say it in the right order.
It's quite troubling, Brett. We are friends.
I know that. But okay, my name is the easiest name in the world to say. Brett the Mott. Okay? So
I think
simple.
there could be confusion. Perhaps somebody's French, the mall.
Okay.
Just a hop and skip jump over the pond, Francis.
Right. But
Not far.
let's be honest. I ain't gonna really go nowhere, Barry. I'll call you by your first name, Berry Buster.
I prefer Bunbuster Berry Ball, but call me what you will.
Okay. I feel like we're going to spend 30 full minutes just figuring out what is the best way to talk about your name. Because you told me before that Bunbuster Berry Ball is not your full name. And then you
It's
told
not
me
my full name.
It's the name you've chosen to go by.
It's the name that most people call me, so it is the name that I'm most used to.
And
especially Americans.
What if I'm going to refer to you as adult to adult today?
Yeah.
What would you prefer me call you?
Call me your friend, your pal, your lad, your chap.
Okay, but if we're like, I don't know, at a museum, you seem like the kind of guy who goes to museums and likes art
Quite
stuff.
often I am mistaken for a historian when I go to a museum. Yes,
I mean,
I'll be enjoying the art and I'll say a small comment about the art and then somebody says, you must know everything about this painting. You sound so educated.
Yeah, so you seem like that kind of guy. So if we're at a museum and we get separated.
Correct.
And I am up on the top of the stairs and I see you down at another painting and I'm trying to get you to come look at something that I'm seeing.
Yes.
And I'm shouting across the way.
Correct.
What am I
so far?
What am I supposed to call?
Berry Buster Ball, Buster Bun, Bunbuster Berry Ball.
I have to say your whole name?
Well, if you don't want to get confused with somebody else at the museum,
there's absolutely...
What's the day like? Is it quite busy there? What if there's another Bunbuster Berry Ball or a bloke named Barry?
I just don't necessarily think that person exists. Maybe there's a guy named Barry. Sure.
Must be quiet in a museum. We haven't forgotten about that rule, have we? Mustn't be too loud.
No, so I'm not. Oh, I won't scream your name. You know what? We're never going to be in a museum. So this analogy isn't even necessary.
You call me Triple B. You call me whatever you want. You're
okay.
Quite good. You put me in a home. I learned you and your family's tactics and happenstances, and I'm happy to have you in my life.
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to get into the backstory a little bit. Obviously, we in 6th grade we were buddies, and when you participated in the foreign exchange program, you came to live with me and my family. We became very fast friends. You were there for a whole semester, so 6 months out of a year.
Lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle, exactly. It was like this. And then you were gone. But you left a lasting impact on me because obviously as a little kid in Pennsylvania, I had no exposure to the types of culture that you were bringing to the table.
And I must say, it was a double-sided mirror. I was seeing things that I had never noticed before. Didn't even know that was possible.
Exactly. We sort of it was give and take, cultural give and take for us. For example, I think I'm the first person who ever gave you a toaster strudel.
Yes, I never had one before. Heard it from the Denmarks over the pond, not too far, the Europeans. Oh, careful now. Don't want to get too much into that, do we?
Okay.
But I digress. Yes, the first time I've had many things. A hot dog, beef franks, tasty.
Yeah, we sort of connected on hot dogs because we did, for your birthday that year, I remember we did the dog grill where we did, all of our friends came over from the 6th grade. We had a little kiddie pool in the back. My dad, who is a very small man, as you probably remember.
Tiny, very small. You could miss him. You could hide behind the crack of a door.
In fact, that's actually happened. He did hide behind the door. But we had all the kids over. We ate all the hot dogs. We swam in a little kiddie pool.
It was a regular movie. It was like we were starring in a film.
Exactly.
American dreams, ice cream, all that, good treats.
All right, we did do ice cream as well, which I was surprised that you had never had ice cream before.
Hey, simply not allowed.
We
we only have a few sweets here in Buckinghamshire. We've got biscuits, cookies, naturally. You've got milk and sugar for your tea, honey if you're feeling naughty. And that's about the extent of it. Sometimes your cereal can become sweet from the cream. The cream becomes sweet, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, not many sweets. Mostly greasy, ghastly food.
Ghastly?
Yes, it gives your tongue a bump.
It gives your tongue a bump. Now, that's interesting.
Do you remember racing beetles as young children?
I do remember racing beetles, which was one of the things that you sort of brought to the table.
Yes, a sport that you had never heard of before.
In fact, when you said I want to show you my favorite sport, I said, "Oh, okay, so soccer or football, like you guys say."
Careful now.
Right.
Careful.
I understand. I understand. Football. I'll call it football.
It seems like we're getting into some dicey territory here. Careful.
Listen, I won't say the name of it anymore. But I
Football.
expected you to say something like that. But instead, you ran into the woods, kicked over a bunch of logs, and you came back with these 2 big beetles. And you said,
Yes.
this one's yours, this one's
Correct.
mine. We
Yes.
put them on the ground, and
then we put them in the freezer
right
to keep them cold.
to make them docile, to make them so that they would sort of pass out.
Absolutely, and that's when the training regimen begins. A week, you and your beetle.
Right. And I sort of took a passive approach because I was like, I don't think that there's any possible way that a human being could train a beetle to do better at this.
Well, and that's why you were wrong.
And
you
I
had an inferior beetle.
I did. My beetle lost by a full meter, which it was
Real
only
sad.
it was only a meter and a half race. And I was like, first of all, we're doing meters here. Well, can't we do it in yards? And you said, sorry, Brett, we do meters over there.
I was trying. I think that is precisely the bit that is important about the exchange student program, is enlightening them with things of another place.
Exactly. And I came out on the other side of our student exchange student situation being much more cultured. I never took the tea. We've talked about that. I never really took the tea because it's
One day, not too late. Maybe you'll have a cuppa.
Okay.
Bit of a cuppa.
If you ever come back to the United States, I'll share a cuppa with you. I'll share a cup of.
I wish I could.
And hey, and soon you can. Or are you?
Oh, you didn't hear?
No, I didn't. Is there something I should know?
I'm
about
unfortunately banned from traveling inside of the United States.
No kidding.
Well, currently, yes, but
What happened? I mean, it seems like you'd have to do something pretty extreme to be banned from traveling into the United States.
it's a bit of a copyright infringement. You know how I do my odd jobs here and there,
Mm-hmm.
and the last job was just how there are movies and television, and
Yes.
sometimes these shows they'll be at a bar or something, having a bit of a pint with the mates and the lads, and there'll be a band playing in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my job was to write the name of the band and perhaps provide any lyrics or songs that you hear, because you can't use a real band. It's
Right.
copyright infringement. But I accidentally made a band that was a real band and wrote a bit of a jingle, and it was sort of the same thing. And now I'm kind of dealing with some legal crosshairs.
Wait, so you were writing music for a fake band in a movie or TV show,
Correct.
and
Several.
you accidentally created a band
Yes.
that was already a band,
Yes, I'm following.
and then you wrote a song that was one of that band's songs. So
Correct.
if you don't mind me asking, what's the name of the band who you're being sued by?
A lot of my process is just sort of picking one word and then picking another word.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just randomly picked Leon and Kings, and there we are. Kings of Leon. Apparently that's a band.
So
Didn't know.
it'd be one thing to accidentally name the band the same thing as another band that exists, but
Correct.
you said also that you accidentally wrote a song that is also one of their songs, and I
Correct.
only
I'm
know
following.
one Kings of Leon song.
And what song is that?
I'm gonna go ahead and say it's probably, if it's this one, it feels like this is the one that everybody would have known, and that is "Sex Is on Fire."
Well, it's quite interesting that you picked that one, because that, of course, is the one that I was not going to pick.
No kidding. That's
No,
not.
I was going to pick Milk off their first album, the Aha Shake Break.
Wait, what do you mean you were gonna pick? Did you do this with multiple songs and you were only going to admit?
Well, when
Which
you
one?
submit materials, you're quite often sending them multiple things. You don't know what the vibe is,
Right.
You know? And I had sent them a song that was about fire safety. And I was trying to make fire safety fun. So it says, your sex is on fire safety. And they didn't like that, and they scrapped that.
That
So then,
almost also, sorry to interrupt, but that almost also sounds like the jingle, the fire safety jingle that you used to see on TV all the time, where it's like, be cool about fire safety. You know that one?
this sex is on fire safety. I've been following this entire time, but I must say, as I'm laid back in the garden, I may have lost track here. Have I said something incorrect?
No. I don't mean to be. I'm not trying to be contentious here. I'm just trying to
I'm in
paint
big
a
trouble.
Now, I'm sure that you can get.
This is scary stuff, mate. Bruv.
So, have you gotten a lawyer? Because I know that back, it was weird back in the day. Every time you ever saw like commercials for lawyers or something on TV, you used to have a very visceral anti-lawyer reaction when we were kids.
Well, yes, my father's a lawyer. That's how we afford this house.
It's beautiful, by the way.
Thank you so much. My father is working the case, but as you know, he's got a tickle of the dementia. Not funny, just true.
No, not funny at all. No, that's not funny at all. So he is your lawyer. And now, how does it work with you're being sued by an entity in the United States? Obviously, Kings of Leon are from here. You're from the UK.
Right.
So what happens? Are the laws different? Is there any sort of law that's getting like lost in translation? Because I'm assuming that your father is very well versed in the laws of the United Kingdom, but I wouldn't think he knows very much about American copyright law.
Well, you'd be very surprised. Do you know where the majority of the legal fees goes?
Where?
Translators.
Wait, a translator. You're both you're both communicating in English, though.
But as you said, the laws are different. Different place, different laws, different words.
Okay, so let me sort of paint a picture of what I'm seeing in your negotiations with Kings of Leon.
Right.
So it's Kings of Leon. I think they are brothers. There's a couple brothers in the band, and then they're on one side.
Yes.
They're on one side. You're on the other side. Your dad's sitting next to you. Their lawyer's sitting next to them. And then there's just some other random law translator that sits between the two lawyers, and they sort of talk through this guy.
Yes, I believe that person's referred to as a polyglot, somebody who knows multiple languages. Quite impressive.
I see. I've always assumed that meant someone who could speak multiple languages, like they could speak French and English and Italian and, you know, any other one that I can't think of right now. So I've never actually heard it spoken. I didn't understand that the language of law was a language that you could learn. I thought you just learned the law.
Have you ever seen how our parliament works?
You guys scream like hell at each other.
Yes, but what I hear is a beautiful melody of order and bureaucracy.
Because I'll tell you this.
You probably hear, order, order, order. You look like a ninny and your balls are twisted around copper wire. But what I hear is, we need to come together. We need to be friends. Quite beautiful. It is. Friendship, love, the strongest force.
Friendship and love are the strongest force. I'll say this. I don't think there's anybody around the whole globe who watches the British Parliament and hears that melody except for you, Bunbuster.
If you had a translator, perhaps you would.
Maybe, hey, point me in a direction of somebody that I can get to do some translations of the British Parliament, and I'll call them up and I'll watch a little bit of the TV show that they put on TV of your guys' Parliament, and we'll see if I hear that.
I'll introduce you on an email. Quite expensive, though. I don't know. How is your financial status?
I'll say this. I'll say that I could be doing better, but I could be doing worse. You know, I think last time we talked, I did own the hardware store, but since then I have filed for bankruptcy and I had to sell the hardware store. And I sold it to a guy who was kind enough to hire me back. And now I'm a shift manager at the hardware store that I used to own. And so, you know, it's hard making ends meet with 3 shifts a week, but I'm making it work, and I'm happy even if I'm broke as hell. And so seeing you in front of the house that you live in right now, it is making me a little bit not upset. I'm not angry at you for your standing in the world, okay? But it is quite a bit of a bummer to see people who I was friends with when I was young have such success in a sort of financial sense, whereas myself, I seem to have been falling into. You don't have to cry. I'm fine.
Quite heartbreaking, this reality that you've fallen into.
No, listen, Bunbuster.
A terrible fate for a good person. I mean, there are some years that are unaccounted for, and perhaps you were bad in those times, but I don't think that you deserve something like this.
I'm going to be honest with you. Your accent made it very hard for me to understand the sentence that you just said. The combination of the accent and you sort of
that makes a lot
sobbing.
of sense. that makes an incredible deal of sense, to be honest.
But I appreciate that. Listen, don't cry for me, Bunbuster. Don't cry for me, okay? I'm getting by, okay? What I don't have in financial security, I have in a tenuous marriage and 3 children who tolerate me. Okay, so I am fine.
That. I don't have a family.
You don't? Have you ever been married? Have you ever? I know. When we were kids, you were always a bit of a romantic. I know on Valentine's Day, you definitely sent out Valentines to a lot of different people, and people really appreciated it. So did that never sort of manifest itself into a relationship for you? Have you always been single? Have you been in a relationship recently?
Are you familiar with the poem, The Man, he drifts off into the snow, and he becomes so cold that he's willing to die. He finds the chimney, and he climbs into the chimney, and he burns to death.
I am not familiar with this poem, but I don't think there's a poem you could have cited that I would have been familiar with, but it sounds like a very emotional story. Is that...
It was me with love. I wanted it so bad. I was so cold and so effortlessly yearning for companionship that I essentially burned my heart alive and created a lonely destiny for myself. Quite sad, really, tragic.
But you're like, it's not over yet. I mean, look, we're 55 years old.
It's all burned up.
No, you still got a heart in there. I mean, you know what else? You know what's on fire? Your heart.
Sometimes, just like a flower in bloom, it gives itself up. And its season is over. And it hopes that it was able to sow seed. And I have not.
Well, Bunbuster, I don't think it's time to give up, is all I'm saying, okay? If
Your optimism won't do anything here. If anything, it'll just turn the coals of the chimney brighter. You're wafting the flame.
No. Listen, I don't mean to waft.
Of course I want it. Of course. I want to be alive.
And it's possible, okay? Listen, you can never give up. As a person who repeatedly, over the last 55 years of living, has been confronted with the option of either giving up or continuing on, and has always chosen to continue on no matter how dark or bleak the future is, I can tell you this: giving up makes you weak. Giving up is the wrong choice, always. Even if the what's in front of you is going to be worse than what's behind you. Giving up is the worst thing that you can do. Okay? Because
never thought of that.
Yeah, giving up.
I've never heard those words put in that order before. Quite beautiful.
Exactly. And if there's one thing that I'm good at, Bunbuster, it's giving these perfect little nuggets of wisdom, morals, you could say. Because while it may seem like I'm a mess, I got it all figured out, and I've created a world that I can live in.
So all I have to do is try.
All you
Climb
gotta
out
do,
of the chimney. Burnt, crisped,
'cause
damaged.
let me tell you something about a chimney, Bunbuster. It's got 2 holes in it. It's got the
A
hole you
mouth
went
and
in.
an anus.
I
Is
know
that what you're going to say?
No.
It's okay if it wasn't.
that's not what I was gonna say.
My apologies.
But I do remember that's what you always called the fireplace and the top of the chimney when we were kids. You
It's
used
what
to,
all of us Brits do.
because you would say to my parents when it was cold, you would say, "Hey, can we light a fire in the house's anus?"
Yes, of course.
And my parents laughed. They thought it was funny. But that is not what I meant. What I was going to say is that chimney has the hole that you came in, and it also has a hole that you can get out of. Okay? You don't have to turn around.
I'm following.
The only way to get out of that chimney that you climbed into is to keep going forward. Okay? Because here's the thing. If you got in at the top, gravity's working with you.
That's
Okay?
nice. That's
Gravity's
nice.
working with you. Just wiggle a little bit, baby. Wiggle a little bit, and eventually you'll fall out the bottom just like Santa Claus.
I'm trying. I promise I will take this speech with newfound confidence.
That's all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear. You know, because I want the best for everybody.
Maybe there will be a bunch of small berry buster berry balls running around.
I mean, that's a great goal. I'd say adoption's probably the only option for you these days. Not. I mean, I don't mean that. That was.
Are you saying that my cum is bad? My semen. What are you trying to say? You're saying I can't.
No,
I don't.
No, Bunbuster, I don't think your cum is bad. Okay, that's not what I'm trying to say.
Then why would I have to adopt?
Because I'm just saying, as a 55-year-old man, things might.
Do you not understand basic anatomy? I could have a children when I'm 90.
Well,
this cum is good. This is thick cum.
I'm not questioning the thickness of your cum, Bunbuster. Okay, I would never do that. Okay, I'm sure you are slinging ropes, like the kids say. Okay,
slinging ropes.
I'm sure that's what's happening, but I'm just saying it might be better if you consider all the options, because
I wouldn't love it the same. I'm just being honest.
I mean,
if it's not my blood, it doesn't get my respect.
I'll tell you this. That's the most honest thing anybody's ever said on this show. And I'll tell you this. I've had the same thought. I've thought if I didn't create these 3 children that I got with my own stuff.
If this is not a result in exhaust of you slanging ropes,
then I don't think I could love the kid as much. Because you see yourself in the kid, and that's what to me. And a lot of people say, Brett, it's fucked up that the reason that you love your kids the most is because you kind of see yourself in them. And I say, oh, shut up. Everybody's a little bit self-centered, okay? And if you see yourself, you can connect with something better if you can see yourself in it, okay? So people who say that that's wrong, that that's selfish, that I'm too much of a narcissist, that only narcissists would only love a thing that came explicitly from them. You know what? I got 2 words for you. Sign me up.
I'm a ding-dong daddy. Call me a narcissist.
Yeah, exactly. So
a particularly fun word for me to say, narcissist.
I like how soft it gets at parts.
Narcissist.
Because when I say it, it's also fun for me to say, because I also have interesting things that I do with sort of shh.
We're from 2 very interesting places.
Exactly. Our voices are the most interesting parts about us.
I would say that is probably true. Yes. Yes.
I'll say this. A lot of people say, Brett, you're no substance, all accent. And I say that ain't true. There's more to me than just a voice. Okay, and yeah, is my voice funny? Yeah, my voice is funny, Bunbuster.
Very good. Very entertaining.
Yes, our voices are funny. And sometimes all you need to be entertaining is a funny voice. Do you need to have a plan? Do you need to... No, you just need to have a funny, and you just need to have a funny. That's it.
I will say that if I'm being quite critical, I do have a name.
You also do have a name. And I have a name as well. Brett DeMott. Fun name to say. Your name... Bunbuster Berry Ball, or I'm sorry, Berry Buster Ball, Berry Buster Ball, Bunbuster Berry Ball. Correct. Very fun to say. Brett DeMott, also very funny to say, coming out of the mouth.
Brett DeMott.
Brett DeMott. Exactly. And so we're fine. And this is enough. This is all you need. Anybody who says you need more, I got 2 words for you. Get out.
Could I have a small request of you?
Of course. Anything, Bunbuster.
Could you maybe take a screenshot, and this could be my first picture for my dating profile, so now that I'm going to get back on track?
Oh, absolutely. I can do here. Let me take a screenshot. Hit me with your best winning smile. Okay, smile for me. And don't force any air out while you're smiling. Okay, and I took it. We just took a little snapshot. Okay.
Very nice. I almost lost the oxygen there.
I was going to say, were you holding your breath or like slowly exhaling? Because it definitely felt that way.
Oh, I don't smile much, and so when I do, it's quite the workout. Like doing a squat, a deadlift, a new PR for me, perhaps.
Was that that was a PR? That smile was a new PR?
It was a personal record.
Well, hey, we're setting records here on How You Been, folks. That's something, too. It's a funny voice, a good name, and also we're setting records. So, anybody who thinks they need more out of a show, sorry, this ain't your show.
Honestly, you've come to the wrong place.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, Bunbuster, we got to wrap things up here.
What a drag, terrible drag. What a pleasant conversation. I'll talk to you again in 6 to 8 years.
No, hey, here's what I'll say. How about this? How about we make this a regular thing? Maybe once every couple months, we hit each other up, we chat it up, we talk, we get more in depth about who we are and not so much just about our names and our accents. And we really just dig in. Next time we'll freaking dig in, Bunbuster.
Yeah, I don't know. I suppose if I come back again, we'll probably get tripped up on what my name is, and I'll just be here in the garden.
Well, that's
happy to come back, but yeah, I can't imagine it being much more dense than this.
No, it will be. It will be. It will
All right.
be. But Bunbuster, thank you so much for being on the show.
I really cheerio.
I really appreciate you being here, and I'm gonna let you go. Again, it was just such a pleasure chatting with you, and you got such a good voice, such a good name. You're such a fun person to chat with, so thank you so much for being here.
Catch you later. Have a good one. Take it easy. Ta-ta, cheerio.
All right. Take it easy, buddy. Oh, yeah, folks. Folks! My good friend Berry Buster Ball, Bunbuster Berry Ball, here. Letting us have it. Really great catching up. Honestly, there's so much more to his story I wish we had gotten into. I really do. But we definitely got some clarity on what his real name is. And everybody who's watching knows that there's more to me than just my name and my voice. I'm entertaining for other reasons. We all know it. I don't need to prove nothing to anybody. But folks, thank you so much for tuning in. As always, I very much appreciate everybody's steadfast support of the show. If you like the show, tweet about the show. If you like the show, follow the channel. The show's every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Subscribe if you can. Also, Bunbuster, he's doing all right financially, okay? But legal fees ain't no joke, especially in a situation where you're going across the pond with the money. So if you guys would, please throw a couple bucks in the donation pot below. There's a button down below that you can press that'll take you to a donation page where you can donate money that'll go straight to Bunbuster to cover his legal fees in his lawsuit against Kings of Leon for stealing the name of their band and the name of one of their songs. So please, even if everybody can just put in $1, that'll help out incredibly. If not, it's totally okay as long as you are following the channel and subscribing if you can. But please, folks, if you can, be back here next Tuesday. I got a great guest lined up next week. I'm telling you this. Assuming it's still locked in, we got one of the best guests in the history of the run of the show next week. So tune in on Friday night here on John's stream to see who it's going to be. It's going to blow the roof off the place. So make sure you're here then. And again, thank you so much for watching. If you can, throw a buck into the donate bin so that we can help Bunbuster with his legal fees. But folks, thank you so much for listening again. I've said it 1,000 times. I'll say it 1,000 more. But to all my how you Bentleys, all my how you been holes, my how you been stillers, my how you benders, my how you been bean dips. Yeah, that one's for the how you bean show. How you bean dips. That's what I got to say to you, buddy. How you baked beans. How about that? Two can play at this game. I'll steal from you too, buddy. But folks, thank you so much. Thanks again to Bunbuster Berry Ball. Or I wrote it down. Let me say it all one more time. Berry Buster Ball, Buster Bunbuster Berry Ball. Very much appreciate it. And I appreciate all you checking us out. Be back here next week, folks, for another great episode. Appreciate y'all sticking around. Until next time, Brett out.